Knicks fans, we have a lot of news to discuss today. The Knicks' final roster picture for the 26th season is starting to take shape, with free agent targets emerging, two young prospects popping up in official team promos, and Mitchell Robinson giving fans his most encouraging summer update in years. And with a home-heavy start to the season, these moves could matter more than you think. So here's the latest. According to The Athletic, the Timberwolves are a legit threat to sign either Cam Payne or Landry Shamet away from the Knicks. However, it's also mentioned there that as of right now, the likeliest thing that happens with the Timberwolves is them re-signing Bones Highland to a deal. And why does this matter? Because Shamet's name is still floating around as the likeliest Knicks candidate to be signed to that veteran minimum spot. And yes, while Shamet isn't a flashy signing, he does bring one of the things that the Knicks could always use more of, three-point shooting. Now look, the Knicks have been patient here. They're not rushing to sign anyone because they know that training camp could shake loose a few more names. But make no mistake, this final roster decision is huge. One move could change the early season rotation, and in a year where the East is weaker than ever, those first 15 games matter. But here's where it gets interesting. The Knicks just dropped their official 2025-26 season promo images, as you can see here, and who's right there with the main roster? Yes, Mohamed Diawara and Kevin McCullar Jr. These two are not officially signed to the main 15 yet, but this is a strong signal from the team. And now we've got confirmation from Ian Begley and cap expert Keith Smith. McCullar cannot get a rookie deal, so he's likely headed for a two-way contract. But Diawara, he is certainly in line for that rookie deal. This matters because both guys bring value right now. McCullar has the potential to be a strong defender. He can hit open shots and plays with energy. Now we still need to see a little bit more from him, and he does need to polish his game overall, but he definitely has potential there. Now Diawara, he's on the other hand an elite defender right now already, and he's a young forward who's only 20 years old with upside, length, and the ability to run in transition. If both are with the Knicks from day one, that's extra depth before the season even starts. And we know how Mike Brown is. He loves practices. He will be practicing every single day with these guys, which means Diawara and or McCullar will have a chance to prove themselves in practice and get some minutes with the main roster. Now on to the next topic. I know a lot of you guys have seen this already. Mitchell Robinson posted a 40-second workout clip the other day. And normally, yeah, guys post workout videos every summer, right? They're in the gym, hitting free throws, working on post moves, floaters, we've all seen it. But here's why this one is different. This is the first offseason in years where Mitchell Robinson is actually healthy enough to work on his game instead of rehabbing an injury in the summer. Think about it, last summer coming off ankle surgery, the year before dealing with that foot fracture, the guy has been in and out of walking boots, on crutches, in rehab facilities, not in the gym getting better. And that's probably one of the main reasons you haven't really seen his free throw jumper improve throughout the years. And for a player like Mitch, whose impact is already sky high on the defensive end, having a summer to truly expand his offensive game is massive. We are talking about a guy who's been one-dimensional on that end, elite lob threat, elite offensive rebounder, but not someone you give the ball to in the post or expect to create his own shot. And in this clip, you can see him calmly knocking down free throws, and yes, Knicks fans, I can hear you already saying we've seen this movie before, but this is about repetition. You can see him working on touch shots in the lane, little floaters over smaller defenders, and post-up moves. And now with a new head coach in Mike Brown, it's all stuff that could potentially show up next season, because for the first time, his summer hasn't been about getting healthy, it's about getting better. Now here's the bigger picture. The Knicks just made a massive commitment to Mikal Bridges, and they're about to have some serious roster decisions next year. And if Mitch can stay healthy enough and bring even one new offensive skill into the season, that is a huge boost. We saw what he can do in the playoffs when he's healthy, and he was a defensive anchor in that Miami series a few years ago, and if his health holds and now he's adding some offensive versatility, that's almost like the Knicks getting an internal free agent signing without spending a dime. Look, I'm not saying he's gonna turn into Joel Embiid, but if Mitch can be a guy who you can actually run a play for once in a while, who can hit 65 to 70% from the line instead of 45%, that changes how teams defend us. That makes Jalen Brunson's life easier, and that makes our spacing better without having to trade for another big. So yes, it's just a workout video, but it's the context behind it and the timing that makes it so important for the Knicks heading into this season. And all of this comes in at the perfect time, because when you look at the Knicks schedule, the league basically handed them an early season gift. 9 of their first 12 games are at Madison Square Garden. That's not just a nice little stretch, that's a golden window to experiment, build chemistry, and rack up wins before the grind really kicks in. It means Mike Brown can try different lineups without the extra fatigue of constant travel, and it also means rookies like Mohamed Diawara could get real NBA reps with the comfort of a home crowd behind them instead of being thrown into hostile arenas right away. It also means Mitchell Robinson's expanded game, if it's real, gets tested in a controlled environment. And in the NBA, early momentum is everything. You start 9-3 or 10-2, for example, and suddenly you're not just thinking playoffs, you're talking about home court advantage. But here's the catch, and this is important. The back half of the schedule gets brutal, and after the All-Star break, the Knicks face one of the toughest road stretches in the league. Long trips out west, back-to-backs against contenders, and the kind of games that test depth, conditioning, and mental toughness. So the decisions the front office makes right now about that final roster spot and about how they're going to bring these young guys along and develop them further is going to be crucial. So here's where things stand as of right now. The Knicks are still weighing that final roster move. Mohamed Diawara and Kevin McCullar Jr. look ready to contribute from day one, and Mitchell Robinson is heading into the season healthier and more versatile than we've seen him in years. Add in a long, home-heavy start to the season, and you've got the perfect storm for the Knicks to make an early statement to the rest of the league. But at the same time, remember, the NBA season is not a sprint, it's a marathon. That hot start will only matter if they can sustain it through the dog days of January and the chaos of that post-All-Star break gauntlet. This is where roster depth, coaching adjustments, and player development will separate a good Knicks season from a special one. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel to help us get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.